the Honorable Deputy Minister and all the members present today. My sincere gratitude for those members of the public and those members of the Civilian Secretariat who are here today. You will have an opportunity to introduce yourself. Honorable members, today we have to do the A list, which contains all the changes that the committee made to the Poktetara bill. After today's meeting, the changes as adopted will be put into the bill, which will then become the B version of the bill. This will be adopted in its totality on Friday. The committee is not allowed legally to do the A list and adopt the B version on the same day, and that is why I had to call a meeting for Friday. The committee's report, as I said, on the bill will also be adopted on Friday. The bill then goes to the National Assembly for adoption and then to the NCOP for concurrence. Honorable members, next week we'll have a physical meeting on the crime statistics. The minister was supposed to release the crime statistics on Friday, but he has indicated that the crime statistics will be released next week, Tuesday, since the minister has to join the president at the physical meeting of the NCOP, and the president is only doing the closing remarks on Friday. The following week, on the 30th of November, we'll deal with the Mashale and the Free State SAPS matter. This has become quite a complicated matter since we have seen the media coverage, and we don't just do things because of media coverage. The Mashale matter has been raised by Honorable Shembeni for quite some time, but as you know, we are doing our research and we are doing our work. And by the time we get there, you would have had your documents and you would have had an opportunity to act with the version that we have of what is happening. Our legal advisor is Ms. Suan Isaac, and she will take us through the A list. Today we will then also, before we do the A list for Poktetara, we'll adopt the minutes and we'll adopt the agenda. Is that in order? Those are the introductory marks. Is that in order, honorable members?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Honorable members, will now do the apologies and then the agenda. Babawa, can I have the apologies, please?
Good morning, Chairperson. I received the apology from the Minister's office. He won't be able to attend the meeting due to a cabinet meeting today. I also received an apology from the whip. He will join the meeting later at 10, and Rev Meshwa will leave the meeting early to join another meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Babawa. We've accepted the apologies. We'll now go to the agenda. Could you flight the agenda, please? That is the agenda. We have done the opening remarks, adoption of the agenda. Do we have a proposal for the adoption of the agenda?
Sheikh Imam.
Honorable Sheikh Imam proposes adoption of the agenda. Do we have a seconder?
Shembeni.
Honorable Shembeni, thank you very much, Honorable Shembeni. Could we now go to the minutes? It's not the 2nd to the 9th, Babawa. As you have it now on the agenda, it says the 2nd to the 9th. It's the 2nd and the 9th, eh? Could you flag the first set of minutes? Sorry? You can start the first set of minutes, please. We have the minutes of the 2nd of November, which you have received. Do you have any proposed changes or corrections that you wish to make, honorable members? Corrections, changes, additions? I do not see any hands. Morning, Honorable Groenewald. I do not see Honorable de Blanche.
Chairperson, Honourable Terblanche has indicated that he's gone for some surgery today, so he won't be joining us.
Oh, I'm sure his apology has reached the office. By now, he told me that he's having, but I didn't receive the formal apology. May the apology of Honourable de Blanche be noted, please. Do I have a proposal for the adoption of the minutes?
Chairperson, good morning. I'm proposing the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you. Honourable Peacock proposes adoption of the minutes. Do I have a seconder?
Linda Moss, second it, Chairperson.
Good morning, Honourable Linda Moss. Thank you for seconding the minutes. Could I have the next set of minutes, please? I'm waiting for the next set of minutes, please. Honourable members, you have received the minutes well in time? Do you have any additions, corrections? Corrections, additions? Honourable members, you received the minutes well in advance. Next, Babawa. I'm requesting corrections, additions. You can continue with the minutes. The meeting adjourned at 13:30. Any corrections, additions? If none, do I have a proposal for the adoption of the minutes?
Thank you, Chairperson. I move for the adoption of the minutes as presented. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Molekwa. Do I have a seconder?
Thank you, Chair. I second the proposal of the minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Peacock. The minutes are now seconded, and that takes care of the minutes. Babawa, do we have all the minutes approved now? And we could now start with our meeting. Approved, Babawa? You ready now?
Yes, Chairperson, we have approved all the minutes. Thank you very much.
You are happy? All right. Thank you very much. Honorable members, as you know that today we are going to be doing the A list of the Paktatara bill. I explained in the opening remarks that we only have the minutes and the adoption of the A list of Paktatara. For Paktatara, we could not adopt the A list and the report on the same day. So after the adoption of the A list, the B version of the bill will be presented to you, and we will continue that discussion on Friday. The bill will then be taken to the National Assembly for adoption and then to the NCOP for concurrence. We invited the participants who did the inputs. I think after our version of the bill now, you can really understand that the inputs of our stakeholders were tremendously important. They made a significant difference to the bill. We can only say that we have enhanced the bill because of the inputs from the public. Both the parliamentary legal advisor and the state law advisor will brief the committee. The A list has been completed and circulated. We invited all people who made submissions in the public participation, and they will not speak today, but what we intend doing is showing them the value of public participation and the comments that they have made, how it has been worked into the bill. I wish to reiterate that their comments made a massive difference. I wish to thank the members of the committee for their participation, the Deputy Minister. I wish to thank you and your team, Mr. Ramaru and your team. We would not have been able to process this bill, and as I said again, we did not rush through it. We have done a really detailed and thorough job, unless there is a member of the committee who feels that we did not pay a significant attention to the matter. Honorable members, the minister and the deputy minister do not participate in this section of the bill. The bill is now a committee bill, so the deputy minister does not make any introductory reports today, and the civilian secretariat does not participate. The A list is a parliamentary process, so this is a matter, today's matter and Friday's agenda falls squarely within the legal ambit of the committee. The work of the deputy minister and the civilian secretariat ended, and it's now within the hands of the committee. Nicolette, can you indicate who is ready to do the first presentation, please? Good morning, Nicolette. You may
Good morning, Chair.
who will
Good
do
morning,
the first
Honourable
presentation.
Oh, sorry, Chair. So Anne will lead us in the presentation between herself and Mr. Sean van der Daar.
Good morning, Suanne. You may introduce yourself, and then Mr. Van Berda. You will introduce yourself for the purpose of the records. Welcome, and thank you very much for your hard work. Nicolette, could you flag the presentation, please?
Good morning, Chairperson. I am going to slide the presentation from my side.
Your volume is just a little bit faint. You have to introduce yourself for the purpose of our records. Suanne.
Good morning, Chairperson. It's Suanne Isaac from
Yes, that's better.
Yes, I won't be presenting the A list. I am going to share my screen. If you can confirm that you can see the A list and the bill.
Suanne, your volume is a little bit problematic, eh? And we need to hear you clearly today.
Are you able to hear me now?
All right? We can see. Yes, that's better. And your presentation is on the screen. You may continue.
Chairperson, I just want to confirm you can see the A list and the bill itself.
Yes, we can.
Yes, thank you, Chairperson, and good morning to the members and all the colleagues present. We, with Mr. Van Breda and myself, have compiled a list of amendments as agreed to by the committee last week. I am going to go through each amendment to confirm that this captures what the committee had agreed to. So on my left is the A list, and I have also flighted the B bill so members can have a visual representation of where the amendments will be slotted into. So this is the list of amendments. The heading is proposed amendments to the Protection of Constitutional Democracy Against Terrorist and Related Activities Amendment Bill, B15 of 2022. Chairperson, the first amendment is in clause 1 of the bill. It is to insert on page 3 in line 17, to insert the definition of crypto asset. So if you can see on the bill itself, the definition of crypto asset will be inserted after Critical Infrastructure Protection Act. Chairperson, I'm not going to read out the definition as it was discussed last week, but it is as the members were presented last week. So that is the new definition of crypto assets that will be inserted into the definitions clause. Chairperson, the next proposed amendment was to pick on page 3 in line 39. And you can see that I've highlighted the words in the bill that will now be deleted. This is to ensure that the referencing to the Financial Intelligence Center Act is correct. So we are deleting the following as follows. On page 3 from line 39 to omit by the Minister of Finance under section 26(1)(a) of the Financial Intelligence Center Act or in a notice given under. And then we are substituting that those words with referred to in. And the next deletion is in line 41, and we will remove the words to omit by the director referred to in section 1. Chairperson, this particular amendment finds itself repeated in various clauses in the bill. So I'm just going to quickly explain how it would read so members will be aware for the next coming clauses. So this part will read a notice referred to in section 36(a)(3) of the Financial Intelligence Center Act. So that will be the new amendment as it will appear when the amendments are finalized. The next amendment is to page 5 of the bill, and that is page 5 in line 20. We are omitting the definition of property, and we are substituting with the definition as indicated in item number 3. So that will be the new proposed definition. The next item is on page 7. And Chairperson, this is a consequential amendment. So if we note in item number 3, we have deleted subsection 4 of the definitions clause. However, I failed to also delete the reference in subsection 5 of the definitions clause. So this amendment seeks to ensure that the both sections correlate. So the proposed amendment is that we are substituting subsection 5 with a new subsection, and basically the reference to subsection 4 will be deleted. Moving along to clause 2 on page 8. Chairperson, this amendment was related to the inclusion of online training. When we drafted the A list, we tried to just tweak the wording to make the section to read better. So on page 8 in line 9, the words training includes but is not limited to. It's proposed that those words be removed, and now the new words that will be inserted, which will now read training, whether in person, online, or in any manner, includes. So we will capture the issue of online training, but also in-person training and any other training that could be undertaken. So that is the proposed amendment to subsection 3, the new subsection 3. The next amendment is on page 8 in line 23. And that's at this point here. So it is to include the words after, on page 8 in line 23, after she, to insert the words provides for. So it would read, a person commits an offense if he or she provides for or receives. So that is the proposed insertion. The next amendment is to clause 3, and this clause is being deleted. The heading is prohibition of publication with unlawful terrorism related contents. The committee had agreed that that particular clause be deleted. The next amendment is to clause 4 on page 9, line 51. Again, here it is to ensure that the reference to the Financial Financial Intelligence Center Act is correct, as previously discussed. The item 2 of clause 4 is on page 10, line 13, again to omit the Minister of Finance, that particular phrasing, to ensure that it speaks to the rest of the bill and the correct referencing to the Financial Intelligence Center Act. The next amendment is on page 10, line 37. Again, it is the same correction to the reference into the Financial Intelligence Center Act. We move on to clause 17. This amendment is on page 15 in line 38 to delete the item D. This is because section 3A has been deleted. So this reference here in item D is now being deleted as well. Clause 17 again on page 15. Again, item G, we are deleting to omit 2B, 12, and 13. This is because we've deleted section 24A, we are now correcting the numbering. So 24A has been deleted, so 24B becomes 24A. So now the correct reference will be, we are substituting 24A, 12, or 13, and we are now inserting 24A, 10, or 11. That is a technical correction to ensure that the numbering is correct. On page 16, we are on clause 18, page 16, and the amendment is to line 30, again, to remove the wording related to the Financial Intelligence Center Act, to align it to the rest of the wording in the bill. We move on to clause 20, and the amendment is on page 17 in line 36. We are omitting the heading here. So we are correcting this heading because we are deleting 24A, and the new heading will say section 24A because it's only going to provide for section 24A going forward. The next deletion is on page 17 in line 38 to omit section 24A. So the committee had agreed that application for depreciation direction, or the department had suggested that this particular section be deleted. I think that last week in the meeting they had wanted to propose amendments, but they have come back to us and suggested that this particular clause be deleted in its entirety. As a result of that proposed deletion, the numbering of 24B will now change to 24A, and The next amendment is on page 18 in line 1 to omit 24A and 24B, sorry, and substitute it with the following section. So your new 24A will have the heading of orders to take down or disable access to terrorism publications. And this section was previously presented to the committee. It is quite extensive, but the committee is aware of the clauses. The next amendment is to clause 22 on page 19. Again, this is an amendment to align the wording with the Financial Intelligence Center Act. We move on to clause to page 20. In line 43, we are omitting the 24A applications of decryption direction. That is because we have deleted section 24. The next amendment is on page 21 in line 6 to omit 24B and to replace it with 24A. Again, that is a technical amendment to ensure that that we now reflect the changes that have been made in the bill. The last set of amendments is to the schedule of the Act. As indicated, the committee had decided to delete section 3A, capital letter A. So all the amendments that follow are consequential amendments to remove all references to section 3, capital letter A in all the other proposed amendments to legislation. So the first amendment is in line 39 of the schedule. We will remove the reference to 3, capital letter A in the Criminal Procedure Act. All the references there to 3A. The next amendment, we are also removing item C, which refers to 3A of the present Act. Yes, and again, we're doing that in the following amendments. We're removing 3A in item 3 on page 24. Again on page 24 to remove 3A here. Again to remove 3A here. The next amendment is on page 25, again to remove 3A to the Refugees Act. So all references to that proposed amendment have now been removed. Chairperson, those are the list of amendments as agreed to by the committee. I'm not sure whether Mr. Van Breda would wish to add anything to the proposed amendments.
Yes, morning, Chair. It's Mr. Van Breda here from the Office of the Chief State Law Advisor. May I just make one small minor input?
Yes, you may. Thank you very much for joining us. And thank you very much for the hard work you have done. San, thank you very much for that presentation and the way you have captured it. The committee remains eternally grateful. After your input, the committee members may ask questions, and the Deputy Minister and the Civilian Secretariat could respond. You may continue now.
Yes, Chair, thank you. Just regarding the proposed deletion of section 24 capital A from the bill, which currently provides for the application of decryption directions. The department's reasoning for deleting that section from the bill is because such applications are already provided for in section 21 of the RICA Act. So that is the rationale behind that deletion. That's all from me. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much for that input. Nicolette, anything else before I move to the questions?
Good morning, Chair. I think you can move on to the questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll now have the first round of questions. Matters for clarity, or by now we adopted. those amendments. We're just adopting the A list. So, honorable members, you have participated in matters of clarity, emphasis, and amendments. I'm taking the last round of comments, and then it will be adopted on Friday and sent to the National Assembly. I'll take your hands now. Do we have any hands now? Comments, additions? If none, honorable members, the A list is then adopted. No, it is for formal adoption. If no comments, we can adopt and close, and then on Friday, you can then, after today's meeting, as I'm saying, it will become the B version of the bill, which will then be adopted in its totality on Friday. So no comments. Oh, I've seen Honorable Whitfield and Honorable Groenewald before we adopt for move and second. Honorable Whitfield and then Honorable Groenewald.
Thank you very much, Chair. I just a comment and then a concluding point. Firstly, thank you very much for extending the public participation at the beginning of this process. I think that we've seen that it's borne fruit, that members have participated, the public has participated, and the inputs from the public were certainly useful. I do just wanted to acknowledge that, and also the work done by the committee last week in my absence. I wasn't available for that meeting, as you know. I think a tremendous amount of work has gone into this, but Chair, I just want to make the point that the DA reserves its rights on this bill and the A list. There are still some concerns which we have in spite of the tremendous ground that's been covered, and that is it from me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Whitfield. Obviously, I will go through the political parties for them to reserve their rights. But yours is noted. Honorable Groenewald.
Morning, Chair and the other members. Thank you, Chair. I also just want to state that, and I already said that when we went through the bill clause by clause, that we reserve our rights. There are some clauses that I have no problem with, and I know there's quite a lot of hard working in this bill, but I do reserve our position because I do have problem with some other clauses. So the position of the Freedom Front Plus is to reserve our right. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Groenewald. Honorable Shembeni.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I reserve also our rights, and then we will deal with it when we come in the next round. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Shembeni. Honorable Sheikh Imam.
Thank you, Chairperson. Yes, the National Freedom Party at this stage reserves its rights. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Meshu.
Chairperson, ACDP also, we reserve our rights. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Meshu. I do not note Honorable Majosi. Is Honorable Majosi in the meeting? If not, Honorable Majosi would be requested to indicate if they reserve their rights, even if she's not in the meeting. Have I covered all the political parties now? Those of you who are in the meeting, you are all covered. I would then now request that we have a mover for the adoption. Do I have a mover for adoption?
Thank you, Chairperson. I move for the adoption as the report has been presented. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Molekwa proposes adoption. Do I have a seconder?
Chairperson, Peacock second the proposal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Peacock. We have a seconder. That brings us to the end of the A list, which is now adopted. It's moved for adoption and seconded. Now I would really appreciate the inputs of the public. We know that it has made a significant difference to our work, and the advice which they gave has certainly been included in the version of the A list. Of course, there were certain matters which still remained with us, and we could not reach consensus. This is rather unfortunate because normally the committee unites around a particular bill, but I respect the views of the political parties. This is a rather sensitive matter, and there would be, I anticipated that there would be differences when it came to this bill. Thank you very much to all the political parties who enhanced the discussion. We remain respecting that. Honorable Deputy Minister, convey our sincere appreciation to the Minister and the Ministry for the professional manner in which they have dealt with the bill. We look forward to now engaging with the IPIT Amendment Bill. To Mr. Ramaro and your team, again, I cannot thank you enough for all your hard work, all the amendments you made, the manner in which you captured the inputs from the public. Mr. Ramaro, your team really could be congratulated for this. They deserve our congratulations and appreciation. To Advocate Kritzinger, you have been with us through this process. Van Breda, the Treasury, I've never ever had the support from all the different areas. National Treasury, Bina Giyose, Janine, thank you very much. I cannot mention you all by name. The Parliamentary Monitoring Group, all our different areas of Parliament, Parliamentary Advisor, Advocate Dornbell. Really, if I could go through this list, I would, because there's the participation of all members from the side of SAPS, from the side of the Civilian Secretariat. All the political parties have really made a tremendous difference. Honorable members, we have not only done this to avoid the grey listing. The chairperson will follow, ensure that we take this through the National Assembly. The National Assembly rises on the 2nd of December. We have met our deadline without feeling that you were rushed and that your comments were not taken into account. I must stress this, that I did not steamroll this bill through Parliament. Nicolette, could we ensure that it is on the National Assembly, that now that it is on the A list, we will make sure that it is tabled to the National Assembly for adoption. And then I'll also speak to the NCOP that it is done with the concurrence of the NCOP is done as soon as possible. I then wish to remind the members that the crime statistics, we sent you the dates of the crime statistics. The minister gave us those dates. The minister has indicated that the crime statistics will not be dealt with this coming Friday, and that will be done next week Tuesday. There will not be a meeting next week Tuesday before the minister releases the crime statistics. The meeting of Wednesday will continue, and we'll engage with the crime statistics next week Wednesday. That will be a physical meeting. The last meeting will be about the Free State and the Mashale matter, and then we will come to the end of our business of the committee. There's a person called Andre. You cannot change or amend right now, and you cannot do that in the chat group. We have done and concluded the business of the bill. All comments are now included, and there's no further inputs that have to be made. Honorable Deputy Minister, the opportunity is yours before I close the meeting.
No, thanks very much, Chair, and thanks to members of the committee for the interface that we have had in handling this amendment bill. We really value and appreciate your guidance in this regard, including members of the public for their participation, and the Civilian Secretariat for your leadership, Acting Secretary, and your team for us to arrive where we are. We really appreciate this. Of course, we can't forget to mention the staff of the committee. Your support team has been very helpful, Chair, and we wish to express our appreciation for their assistance and the role that everybody played in this.
Honorable Dame, you're breaking up a bit.
From the side of the ministry, we would like to thank you, Chair, and members of the committee for having made this work appear very easy. Thank you very much. Well, I'm sorry about that. I was saying that we appreciate the role that you have played in this regard. This work, it's a bit difficult, but you made it difficulties around this. So we really appreciate that. And we look forward to further working with you in processing the IPID and the SAPS bill, which we should bring to the committee for further processing. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister.
Chairperson, I think.
Yes. Yes, DM.
No, I was saying you, it seems you are muted earlier on. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, on behalf of the committee, I want the following included in the minutes: that Ms. Nicolette van Zyl-Gous be mentioned and thanked for her professional work, hard work, and the manner in which she assisted the committee in processing the bill. I'm sure that on behalf of the committee, we could include her name. The second person whose name should be included in the minutes would be Ms. Babawa. Babawa, could you, I know that you write the minutes, but this is the committee thanking you. Finally, by name, I wish to name Ms. Nobesutu, that their names be included as the record of the minutes and the record of the committee. We have put them under tremendous pressure. The members of the committee realize and do appreciate the work that our support staff does behind the scenes, and that you do the administrative work you do to facilitate the work of the committee. Do I have any committee members who would like to thank anybody personally?
Yes, thank you, Chairperson.
Yes, Shaky Ma'am.
Allow me to thank particularly the staff, the extra mile in which they went, the extraordinary hours that they had to work, and they were very professional. Indeed, unfortunately, it's not within our mandate to ensure that you get a bonus or an increase. If we could, certainly would. But I think we must admit that we have got a fantastic team that we are working with, Chairperson. Chairperson, the only other thing is that I think, I know you raised the issue of the Deputy Minister coming in very early this morning. And it's true, what he didn't tell you, Chairperson, is that his wife threw him out last night. That's why he's so early this morning. So I just thought I'll bring it to your attention in case you can give him some protection.
Honorable Shaky Ma'am, you are out of order.
You know,
He is so out of order.
I never thought that Sheikh Imam is a comedian, honestly.
Tim, you're supposed to say it cannot be in the minutes. Can you imagine the minutes records what Sheikh Imam said? It will be there in the history books of Parliament.
No, he's a comedian. Is all I can say, Chair.
Thank you, Tim. Do we have anyone else who wish to make their final appreciation, express their appreciation?
Chairperson?
Honorable Peacock?
Yes, Chair, let me take the opportunity also, Chair, to appreciate the sterling work done by the committee. But most and for all, let me take the opportunity to appreciate your leading role that you've been playing throughout, making sure that the bill is coming to the point where it is today. And also appreciate the role played by the minister as well as the deputy minister. And again, Chair, thanking all the staff members and also showing an appreciation to Nicolette. But in general, I appreciate the collectiveness that I saw through all these difficult times that we had to endorse this and to make this a success. And I appreciate all the committee members contributing positively towards the end to this. That's all that I would say. And I'll say thank you, Chairperson, for the leading role that you've been always playing. And thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Peacock. Honorable members, I hope that you do realize that we did the BRRR reports, the Kanye report, and the amendment to the Paktetara bill simultaneously. It was not very, very easy. For those members, again, from the public, thank you very much. For the Civilian Secretariat, for all of those who assisted with the extension we gave, for all of those who were extremely patient. Please, those who have been with us, I have thanked Sue-Ann, I have thanked Mr. Van der Walt, Brigadier Van der Walt. I have also mentioned our parliamentary legal services and advisors, National Treasury, again, Mr. Ramaru, Mr. Van der Bredar, this time around on this bill, those people have to be thanked. Of course, they will be thanked in Parliament, but the committee should indicate in its minutes. Babawa, could you indicate in the minutes the appreciation extended by the committee? That then brings us to the end of business today. The meeting is now adjourned. The next meeting will start on Friday at 9 a.m. That's a virtual meeting. Next week, Wednesday, will be a physical meeting where we'll also have a presentation on the crime stats. I thank you for this. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you,
Thank
dear.
you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Chair.
Thank you, members.
Thank you.